Hey everyone, the Halloween season may be over, but ghouls, ghosts, monsters, and psychos are a constant throughout the year, so what better way to celebrate them than a video focused on how well this 5'4" individual would last in a fight against some of them. The results of which will vary from I'm packing them up with a shotgun straight to the chest, to I hope I wrote my will and will notify my next of kin, cause I'm dying. If you are enjoying the video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's start it off with the Stephen King mini package. Easily one of, if not the most prolific modern writer, Stephen King has created so many characters and creatures throughout various books, so let's see how I fare against a few of them. Such as Jack Torrance from The Shining. Ah, The Shining. An easy classic of the horror genre masterfully directed by the late Stanley Kubrick. Between endless references and parodies, you already know what the movie is and especially what this corruptible man is about, so it should come to no one's surprise that he is getting absolutely packed up with ease. Look, this movie is in my top 10 movies of all time with all the nightmare fuel to last a lifetime, but last I checked, he has no superhuman durability, no super strength, and no haxes, just built on old reliable alcoholic rage lugging an axe that he used to catch a black man lacking. As a matter of fact, that only happened in the Kubrick version, because in the miniseries and novel, he actually got assistance from those freaky ass spirits and still didn't add anyone to his kill count. All that effort just to instill some childhood trauma, as if he needed any help in that department. The only help I need is from my little friend. Gun level, easy, but this next one is a different story because she is a cupcake enthusiast, aka Rose the Hat from Dr. Sleep. And when I say cupcake enthusiast, I don't mean in the EDP kind of way, but in that I got ice cream in the van so she can literally munch on their life force way. Shoot, she runs the true knot just to make our carnivorous captures easier. Her lineup of powers include an extended lifespan, tracking psychic powers, telepathy, and astral projection. Now at first glance, she seems like a problem, especially if you were just walking down the street for Yeo Snow Bunny to pull up in front of you, especially since her psychic powers kinda operate like Professor X wearing Cerebro. And that telepathy can read me like a book, so close combat is out of the question. I mean, Danny found out the hard way. Here's the thing, those psychic vampires can be put in a pack with basic weaponry, so while I'm no psychic prodigy, I am pretty crafty. Plus, unlike your Kanye's and Jordan Peele's, I don't cave so easily to the powers of white women and foot fetishes. So if I know she's coming and stay a good distance from her, a few bullets should do the trick. I'll say situational for Rose the Hat. Now mirror planning isn't gonna cut it against the high schooler, Carrie White. You know, the girl who was severely bullied for years by these pricks, especially this one named Chris who had the bright idea to humiliate her at the prom, and so a coating of pig's blood with a dash of a dead prom date is all it takes for this abused girl to finally lose it. Completely understandable. Her powers include, oh, I don't know, telekinesis, levitation, telepathy, geokinesis, aka earthbending, pyrokinesis, aka igniting things on fire. This avatar is no joke because in the novel she racked up a body count of 440 people.
What the fuck?
Shoot, horror fans are easily impressed by men in masks claiming a few bodies, and she has more kills than plenty of iconic horror characters combined. I swear, if she was in the Marvelverse, the Scarlet Witch needs to be sent in to deal with her. I'm fortunate that she doesn't have any durability or healing powers, or this would be a guaranteed GG. Honestly, putting her in the I Need God tier is pretty spot on because while she can detect people, her reach doesn't seem to be too wide. Thus, my options are basically a sniper rifle and hoping it lands the first time, or getting the military to consider a piece of the town as collateral damage. She is someone who you have to catch by surprise or get serious law enforcement involved. And speaking of unsuspecting menaces, let's discuss man's best friend, Cujo. Ah, sweet old Cujo, a dog that just wanted to frolic around the woods until an infected vampire bat decided to pay this boy a visit. From that moment on, this doggy went from man's best friend to man's worst enemy, who managed to rack up a few bodies including an officer, as if that's a hard thing to do. But here's the thing, Cujo's just an ordinary dog, so he's going the way of Old Yeller. Obviously gun level. So this wraps up the Stephen King mini package, but we have plenty more psychos and killers to cover, such as Ghostface, the lovable murderous rascal. Now I know most people's first instinct is to write these teams off considering they have failed to bury Sidney Prescott and Gale Weathers for over 2 decades. But you gotta consider yourself in the same predicament. I mean, even trained martial artists are on record of not wanting to deal with more than one opponent at a time. Especially when you consider jumping people is their primary method, and even in a head-to-head fight, they can hold their own enough as long as they don't lose their composure like at the end of the movies. So despite not having any supernatural powers, I don't think Ghostface is bottom tier, but the scaling is a bit wonky due to the various versions of the mantle. So if you just want an overall ranking, this Dollar Store Psycho is comfortably situational, but here's an exact ranking for each one. Homoerotic couple Billy and Stu, mother pseudo-son partners Mickey and Nancy, plus fame-hungry Jill and Charlie are all situational. The orchestrator of the entire franchise, Roman Bridger, is a minor inconvenience due to the body armor and the voice changer, which you could probably use to lure me into some unfavorable situations. Sorry-ass copycats Richie and Amber are also minor inconveniences due to the lack of originality. Now the family threat Wayne, Quinn, and Ethan are an actual problem. Let's be honest, a lot of people aren't expecting a third Ghostface, so that surprise factor will be a huge advantage, not to mention one if not all the trio wears body armor. For these reasons, this particular Ghostface goes in the "this is a problem" tier. Since Scream 7 came out a little over a month ago, I'll discuss the new trio Jessica, Marco, and Carl. I won't mince words and class them as situational. Yes, they are a trio, but Carl and Marco are just pawns being led by Jessica who are only rocking knives. Meanwhile, Wayne, Ethan, and Quinn were strapped up with body armor, shotguns, and a much better plan moving like a unit. This makes the former a disappointment, just like the recent movie.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
So let's move on to the most popular modern horror icon of the last few years, the one, the only, are the clown. No! I've already done 2 videos dedicated to a seasonal rampage, and if I'm being honest, I don't think he is that dangerous. I mean, in the first movie, all the Carnesville killings doesn't change the fact that he has no powers to speak of, so a round of 6 bullets is more than enough to do him in. Now, Terrifier 2 and 3 is where things get challenging, but only due to his immortality. I mean, it's not like he has any other powers that make fighting him a serious challenge. Yeah, I'm not strapped with a magic sword, but it's not like dismemberment isn't a substitute. At worst, he'll have to get the demon to piece him back together, but I'll be long gone by that point, so that counts like a win to me. He's going right in situational. If Art the Clown is on creative mode like in the mall, or he decides not to mess around, I may have a problem, but other than that, I think my chances are pretty good. Speaking of modern horror icons, that leaves us with the alarming automaton Megan. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it seem like this is a challenge. I'm writing my will, because there is no normal way to stop this autonomous AI. Being a heavy-duty weapon with the intellect of various supercomputers is bad enough, but not only can she pretty much control any technology with a mere thought, this ravenous robot always seems to have backups. In the sequel, she ended up having a save file ready 3 times, including using the vessel of another dangerous AI, so there is no escape. Unless the government wants to lend me a Gundam, this crazed clanker is about to usher in the era of Skynet, so lock your doors and hold your kids because there is no tomorrow. With the final chapter in the Conjuring movie series released, for now,
We've got to have money.
I'll get into the most popular icon to come out of it, Annabelle. Look, the thing about Annabelle is that it takes at least a couple of hours for the demon's power to start manifesting. Do I look like the type of person to house a creepy porcelain doll for funsies? No! The oldest thing in my home is a VCR. That may mean I have to worry about Sadako, but at least she's more of a pressing threat than this. And even if I did, you can offer a sacrifice to get it to go away. I mean, we are in the land of the free, the home of the homeless, so that won't be hard. Or just seal it behind a couple Bible pages and a little priest blessing, so yeah. A minor inconvenience at best just for being an intangible demon. Now this spirit is the definition of terrifying, so give it up for the black artist turned vengeful ghost Candyman. No one, and I mean no one, should be surprised by this. His toolkit encompasses teleportation, a hook for a hand, summoning bees, hypnosis, and invulnerability. You think if he is summoned, I'm surviving against his phantom?
No.
And don't hit me up with the, he don't touch black people, cause have y'all forgotten what happened to Bernadette from the first movie? I know Brianna survived in the severely overrated sequel, but considering what happened to Helen, I promise if there is a follow-up, she is doomed. Doomed! Speaking of vengeful entities, let's give it up for the horror legend Freddy Krueger. Now I know this man's reputation has degraded from child-packing monster to the class clown of iconic slashers, but don't let that fool you, because he is still packing heat with the finger knives and ability to slay anyone in their dreams. I'm gonna be honest, unless we're talking about Krueger at the start of Freddy vs. Jason or certain comics, I'm pretty screwed. I know some people are quick to mention, lucid dreaming is a wake con, bro! And to those people, I say, do you have amnesia? In Dream Warriors and the Dream Master, multiple lucid dreamers, including my man King K, got sent to hell. Shoot, Will was wielding magic powers against him, and the serial killer said, what of it? He has consistently proven to dominate others in their dreams, especially when there is fear to draw on. My only options are hitching a plane ride to Ohio to purify Freddy's remains, or fall asleep and somehow grab a hold of him without dying so I can wake up and dispatch him. And don't mention, just don't fall asleep, bro, because when the brain determines it isn't getting enough adequate rest, it will force you to sleep. So yeah, I have at least 2 outs, but without the power of plot, I don't see myself surviving, at least by myself, so I'm riding my woe. I hope y'all enjoyed the Would I Survive Against These Horror Icons video. I meant to have this out months ago, but hey, stuff happens. But until next time, you already know to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. You can follow me on Blue Sky, Instagram, and TikTok. Stay prepared for any adversary at all times, and take care.